Hello, and welcome back to Lately Fashionable. I am Chelsea Souder, and if there's one thing I love, it is a good hair accessory. I also love a good hat, but we are not talking about hats today. Today we're going to make a hair accessory that is much simpler than a hat. If you are new here, welcome to the chaos. If you have been following along for some time, you will know that I am doing a year of dressing vintage, and you will probably have also noticed that I love to wear hair flowers. And I recently made myself a hair bow, which is really fun to wear, and I'm going to show you how I made it and make another one. This one is very simple and it's attached to a comb, but you could also attach it to a headband if you were so inclined. I personally find these combs to be a lot more versatile and work better with the hairstyles that I tend to wear. I also don't really care for the way headbands feel on my head. They tend to really squeeze and pinch after a while, and I don't like to wear them all day. But your mileage may vary. So like I said, this is really a very simple accessory to make. We're going to use a hot glue gun and paper velvet ribbon, which is, you know, this kind of ribbon that you get for gift wrapping or home decor that has a paper backing. It's often shiny, but then it's velvet on the face side. And I've collected a bit over the years. I have a few different colors, and I had already started my next bow, and I'm going to take it apart before I actually sew all the pieces together and show you how I made it, because it's going to be the exact same process as this one. And I'm also going to show measurements so that you can make your own anytime you want. Yours, of course, can be a different size, but this will give you sort of a baseline to go off of. Now this one is going to be bigger than my first one, as you can see, but basically it lines up to one loop difference. So this one is one loop smaller than this one. So you can just take a portion, or you could even do just the first two loops and make a smaller bow. It's up to you. So while my glue gun is heating up, let's take this one apart so I can show you how I've done it. So for this biggest bow, which I think is the biggest I would do for myself, I'm going to have 5 pieces of ribbon. And my ribbon is 2 inches wide. The first piece, the biggest piece, is just over 11 inches wide, and then as you can see I've cut the notched ends, which you can do very easily by folding it in half and cutting at a 45-degree angle. That gives that beautiful finished edge. The next piece is also, I would say right at 11 inches. I just used the piece that I cut off from the previous one, so it doesn't need to be notched like that, but... And then I'm folding it down to 8 inches. So you're folding in a couple inches on each side and then stacking it. And I think I'm actually going to do this as a no-sew project. I'm going to do it all with hot glue. I did sew the loops down on this one, if you can see in there. I very loosely stitched them down because none of this stitching is going to take any strain. But you can also do it with a glue gun, so that's what I'm going to do here. It'll just be quicker, and then you can do it if you don't sew. Okay, strip number 3. This one is 8 1/4 inches, folded down to 5 3/4. These, of course, are very approximate. You can fudge them a little bit in either direction and it'll work just fine. Next one is 6 1/2 inches, folded down to 3 5/8, call it 3 1/2. And then the last one is actually half the width a little over half the width of the original ribbon. Cut down to 4 3/4, 1 1/4 inches wide. So that will be the piece that holds the whole bow together. Now, as you can see on this one, I didn't cut the ribbon to length. I left it because it was already 1 1/4 inches, and that's the width I wanted it. But on this one, I think that would have been too wide, and I wanted just a little bit narrower because I like the proportions and how that looks. I really hope this navy blue velvet ribbon is reading on camera. That would be sad if it's not. Okay, so now we're going to start gluing it all together. And we're going to put the bow together first before we glue it to our comb. Now I don't want to glue the ends of the loop to the ribbon itself. I want to glue this to the ribbon it's sitting on top of. So first, we've already got the folds pretty well set in already, just because I had pinned it all together and left it that way for months. So now I'm just going to center it where I want it to be. And I'm just going to fold back to where that cut edge is. Just going to put a little line of glue and then flip it back over. So that's what we want. We want the cut end attached to the base layer, but this top part free. Just going to give it a little press as it cools to really solidify that. Now this is important. You don't want to stretch your ribbon out. You want to leave a little bit of give. You want to have that loop. You want it to stay three-dimensional. So don't stretch it out too much. So once again, I'm just going to fold that back till the cut edge is exposed. Glue it and then fold it back. Being very careful not to get any hot glue on my hands. And now we're just going to repeat that same process with the rest of the ribbons. And I'm going to speed through this and meet you back when I'm done. So you should at this point have kind of a Christmas tree shaped thing when it's spread out. But of course we are going to bunch it up in the center and secure it with our last loop. Okay, and now that we have the finished bow, can pull off some of these glue threads. Here's how it looks, still nice and three-dimensional. And as you can see, it is a little bit asymmetrical, but that is actually on purpose. You may have noticed that I attached the red bow to the hair comb asymmetrically as well. So now, for this part, we will use the aid of a mirror. So I'm going to put the comb in my hair where I want to wear the hair bow, and then set the bow on top where I want it to lay. You will note I'm going for a headband look without actually wearing a headband. Now, the bow is bigger on this side. So I'm going to put that closer to the top of my head. Okay. So I like how that is looking. It's going to be still off-center from my hair, but pretty close to centered. Okay, So now, try to take them off together. And then I can see where I want the comb to end up. And now we're back at the table, and I am still holding it where I want it to be. I'm just going to mark the ends of the comb with some tailor's chalk. Does not need to be there for very long, so it just needs to last a couple of seconds. And to make sure I'm keeping the comb in the orientation that I want it. You don't want to flip it around. But the marks actually do help with that because they show the angle. Okay. Now we're going to add the glue to the comb. Flip it around. And I'm going to curve the bow to meet the comb. And then just hold it until it cools. Can help by blowing on it. And I don't want to touch the glue until it is completely cooled because I don't want to make it opaque. I want to keep it nice and clear. I know if I touch it, it will cool faster and I can flatten it against the ribbon. Could also burn myself, but also that will give fingerprints to the glue and it will no longer be clear. And since this is the part that's facing out to my face, I probably should have glued it a little further in from the edge, but I didn't. This is what we've done, and we're gonna live with it. It's gonna be fine. Just wanna keep it clear as it dries. And you know what, just for fun, we're gonna make another one. I have this, it was a pre-made bow. Came off like a floral arrangement or something. And I'm gonna fold this, because I like the proportions of that better. And we're just going to do the exact same thing, except it's already halfway put together. Some of the glue came off, but we can fix that. I totally forgot I was going to measure this one. Well, like I said, it was already made, so I guess you would start with a 12-inch with the overlap and fold it down to about 5.5. And then the second one would have been 6 inches, folded down to about 2.5. And then this piece was 3 inches, folded in a little under half, or a little over half, I suppose. It doesn't quite meet in the back, but that's okay. Just gluing in between the layers so they don't want to separate. And as you can see, they are oozing out from underneath the edges. And I'm just gonna flatten it after it's cooled. There we go. That should be nice and secure. These combs are all really big for this bow. This is my basket of flower combs, by the way. Some of these I have made from broken combs, because waste not, want not. I like to have a flower that I can wear in my hair to match every potential outfit. So I might put on these little clips when they're really little. Oh! My curved needle. How long has that been in there? Don't have any empty combs in there. Could I put it on a clip? What if I did it this way? You know what? We're gonna try that. Why not? Remember just to glue on the outer edges. Okay. That should work. While I have my glue gun out, I'm also going to make a pin for myself. So last year I made a poinsettia hair comb, and I now have my red dress that I want to wear for Christmas, and I want to have a pin on the dress that is also a red poinsettia. I did make a white one already, so I can wear that sometimes, just as a pin back. But I just got out this red hair comb and realized that I put almost holly-like leaves underneath it, and I think that would be really good to help it stand out against the red of the red dress. So I found some similar leaves. They're not exactly the same, but they're close enough. This will be in my hair, this will be on my dress. They're not going to be, you know, it'll look fine. So first I'm going to take this apart, because I only want the leaves. And already this stem is going to be too much because I don't want it too far out from the pin base, and also I want it to get good contact when I glue it down. So what I did with this one, can't really tell, but I will show you. I'm going to use my paper scissors, not fabric scissors. And I'm actually going to split the stem in half. This is what I would do whenever I need a flower to be flat, but I don't want to lose whatever's in the middle. So I cut it in half and then I split it on either side. And the hot glue will help this stay. But first, put the leaves on. Let's see. They're shinier on this side. Yeah, I like that. So this part gets a little tricky because I need this to be flat, but I don't want to be holding it and get glue on my fingers. You know what, I think this one came out really thick on this side. I'm going to split it in 3. Let's try that. Okay, I think first I'm going to glue these to the leaves, and then glue the leaves to the petals and just get it really squashed as flat as I can without burning myself. Wish me luck. Yes, I am using my fingers. I waited for the glue to cool a little and then just went for it. Okay. So that is obviously making the leaves pull this way. I'm hoping that when I glue them to these plastic ribs of the petals, it will stay. Let's try it. Do one at a time. Okay, this one did not get attached. I'm really liking how it looks from the front. Now, as you can see, it is not flat, but we are going to sort of fix that by building up on either side with more hot glue. And we will let that dry. Just want to build it up on either side of that bump so that we have a place we can attach this. Okay, that should do. Now we can put the glue right across and stick on our pin bar. And you want the glue to come up through those little holes in the bar to make sure it's really going to be secure. You can even, if you're brave, open out the pin, press them flat after they've cooled somewhat. Alright, these outer two were pretty much already hard, but I got the center one smooshed. There we go. Now we've got a poinsettia pin. Okay, now we have 3 hair bows. Oh, that's darling. Yes, I like that a lot. I may have to wear navy blue tomorrow just so I can wear this bow. It's precious. We also have the original cherry red and a cute little burgundy. Of course, none of these match each other or my current outfit, but that's okay. We also have a new poinsettia brooch, I guess, to match the poinsettia hair flower. This one makes me really happy. Oh, I love how it turned out. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give me a like, and if you want to see more, definitely subscribe, and let me know if there are any more tutorial videos you would like to see from me. I usually do sewing content, and usually much longer videos than this one, but I could do some shorter ones here and there, and show you how to make something. It's kind of fun. Anyway, I will see you in the next one. Bye! Hello, and welcome back to Chelsea. What you gonna do when the chips are down? Now when the chips are down. What you gonna do when the chips are down? Now that the chips are down.